Hello friends, welcome back to Ekida. In the last class, we have discussed about the void ratio and porosity. Okay. In this present class, we will discuss about the some of the basic properties of the soils. Okay. So let us start with the degrees of saturation. Degree of saturation. So in general, degree of saturation is represented by the S subscript R. This value either we can represent in percentage or we can represent in the decimals, right? So the name itself you can understand degree of saturation. What is meant by a saturation? That means water. That means what is the level of water occupied in the soils. So if you're taking a lump of soil, in there volume of solids will be there and also voids will be there. So in the voids portion, how much quantity is occupied by the water, that we can call it as a degree of saturation. That means my degree of saturation, if I want to represent this in percentage, we will say the volume of water that is occupied in the volume of voids. So volume of water to the volume of voids into 100. So then we will get this value in the percentage. Okay. Now let us see the ranges. What is the range of this degree of saturation? Right. Now, as you can generally see, if I represent the phase system of a soil sample, let me represent in two ways first. So let us say this is completely filled with the solids. Let us say, let me represent with Vs, and remaining portion is nothing but a volume of voids. So we can say total volume is nothing but a volume of solids plus volume of voids. So if you take a lump of soil, volume of solids will not change. So only in this volume of voids, either air can occupy or water can be occupied. So if I am talking about the dry soil, if I'm talking about the dry soil, that means the name itself implies there is no water. That means the entire volume of voids is filled with the air. So if this entire is filled with air, then what about the volume of water? Volume of water will be equal to 0. Now, let us talk about the saturated soil. We can say saturated soil, or else we can say completely saturated soil. That means the entire volume of voids is filled with the water. Then if entire volume of voids filled with the water, then what will happen in this case? Your volume of voids will become volume of water. So if volume of voids and volume of voids are equal, then what about the percentage? 100%. So these two are the most extreme cases. So what will happen if your water more than the volume of voids? Is it possible? In the volume of voids only we can fill with the water, isn't it? So what will the range of this degree of saturation? We can say if it is a dry soil, the value can be 0. So 0 less than or equal to. If it is completely saturated, the value will be 100%. So less than or equal to 100%. So this is about the degree of saturation. So it is nothing but a volume of water to the volume of voids. And it can be ranged between 0 to 100%, right? Next, let us discuss about the air content. What do you think by listening this term air content, by listening the term degree of saturation? Here also air content, that means what is the fraction or percentage of air filled or occupied in the soil. So in general, this is represented by A subscript C. So air content, that can be written as nothing but a how much volume of air is present in the volume of voids. So I can say VA, volume of air that is present in the volume of voids. So if I want to represent this percentage, I will multiply with the 100. If I want to represent in decimal, it can be decimals. So if I want to represent this percent, I can multiply by the 100. So what will be the range of the air content? What will be the range? So if I'm talking about the range, as in similarly, if it is a dry soil, if I'm talking about the dry soil, the entire volume of voids is occupied by the air. So if it is completely dry soil, I can say my volume of voids is equal to volume of air. If it is a saturated soil, then the entire volume of voids is filled with the water. Then is there any volume of air present in the volume of voids? No, that is equal to 0. So in dry soil, what is the range? If it is a dry soil, then what about the air content? That is nothing but a VA equal to VV. These two gets cancelled, then we will get it as a 100%. If it is a saturated soil, is there any volume of air present in the soil? No. So that's why VA is equal to 0. Then what about the A percentage? 0. So what about the range? The range will be in between 0% to the 100%. 0 is also possible, 100 is also possible. That's why I can use the symbol less than or equal to. Okay, now if you see this degree of saturation, let me write it down this value in terms of the decimal. So what I can express? Volume of voids to the volume of voids. So what about air content? Volume of air to the volume of voids. Now if you see this, the entire volume, either it can be filled with water or it can be air. So if you add those two can be accommodated in the volume of voids only. So if you add these two, what you will get? Degree of saturation plus air content. Denominator is same, so that's why what I can write VW plus VA divided by VV. So what about volume of water and volume of air? Nothing but a volume of voids. So if we add degree of saturation plus air content, that will always be equal to 1. So in some cases, if they're giving you degree of saturation, if you need the air content, then you can find out by using this relation. Okay. Now let us go to the another parameter, that is nothing but a percentage of air voids. So percentage of air voids. In previous, we have discussed about the air content. In the present, we are talking about the percentage of air voids. What is the difference? If it is air content, we are defining with respect to the volume of voids. That means in the volume of void, what about the how much volume is occupied by the air? That is what nothing but a air content. If you're talking about the percentage of air voids, that means if I take entire volume of the sample, in the entire volume of the sample, how much volume is occupied by the air. So always remember, air content is with respect to the volume of voids. Percentage of air voids is with respect to the whole volume of the sample. So this in general, we will represent it as a n subscript A. So n subscript A, that is percentage of air voids, that is nothing but a volume of air present in the soil sample divided by total volume of the sample into 100%. Now, what about the range of this value again? Isn't it? Now, if you talk about the range, is there any possibility that volume of voids is equal to 0? Sorry, volume of air is equal to 0? Yes, of course. If you're taking a saturated soil, what about the air? Is there any air present in the soil? No. That means the range of Na can be is equal to 0, less than or equal to Na. Then what about the maximum ratio? How can I find it out? Right? So if you observe, then the maximum range, that can be nothing but a porosity. Porosity is nothing but a volume of voids to the total volume. So what is the maximum? That means there is maximum possibility that your entire volume of air is occupied by the volume of voids. So what about porosity? Porosity is nothing but a volume of voids to the total volume. So if entire volume is occupied by the volume of air. So here this is not, I can write it down as a VA divided by V. Then what is the maximum possibility? The range for the percentage of air voids is nothing but a 0, less than or equal to n. Okay. So always remember, air content is with respect to the volume of voids. Percentage of air voids is with respect to the total volume of the sample. Okay. This is what about the parameters. Those are based on the volumes, volume of sample, volume of solids, volume of water, volume of air, volume of void, so on down. Now, let us talk about the parameter that is with respect to the weight. Okay. Now, let us consider a soil sample and let us assume that it is a three-phase system. That means solids will be there, air will also be present, water will also be present. Let us say least portion we are talking about the solids, and in the second range we are talking about the water, In the third, we are talking about the air. So how can I represent volume of air, volume of water, and also volume of solids? So if I'm talking about total volume of soil, how can I write it down? Volume of soil plus volume of water plus volume of air. This is what with respect to the volumes. Let us talk about with respect to the water weights. Now, as solids are having some weight, let us say W with respect to S. And volume of weight of water. Let me represent capital W with respect to W. Now, what about for the air? Will it have any weight? No, it don't have any weight. That's why if we are talking about the total weight of soil, then what can I talk about? It is nothing but a summation of weight of water plus weight of solids. So if we are talking about the volume of air will also come into the picture, but as it don't have any weight, wherever if you want to talk about the total weight of the soil, that is always summation of the weight of the water plus weight of the solids. So as air is don't have any weight, so we don't talk about the parameter of air with respect to the weight. So let us talk about the water content. What is the water content present in the soil sample? Everywhere we will not represent with respect to the volume and also will not represent with respect to the weight. So we will represent with respect to some percentage, that is nothing but a water content. So this in general we will represent with the small w. So water content small w, that can be nothing but a weight of water to the weight of solids into 100. Understand? Weight of water to the weight of solids. Remember, if I am representing subscript s, it is not for soil, it is for the solids. If it is a soil, I will just simply write it down as a capital W. If it is volume of soil, I will represent with capital V. So wherever I am representing subscript S, that is representing nothing but a solids. So water content is nothing but a weight of water to the weight of solids into 100. Then what about the range? Is there any possibility that your water content percentage will be equal to 0? Yes. Why? Because if you are talking about the dry soil, if you are talking about the dry soil, is there any water present in the soil? No. That means what about the weight of water, that will be is equal to 0. So water content, 0 value may be possible when it is a dry soil. Then what about the maximum value? With respect to volume, we can restrict it, but what about with respect to the weights? So there may be some cases where your weight of the water may be greater than the weight of the soil also. That means it can be 0 and it can be any value. That means it can be greater than percentage. That's what I mean to. Okay. Water content ranges means it will be 0 may be possible and also it can be of any value. Like even it can crosses the 100% also, 100, 150, 250 like that. So it's all depending upon the type of the water or volume of water present in the soil sample. So these are nothing but a independently we have discussed about the parameters with respect to the weights and also with respect to the volumes. Now let us talk about the combination of these two. That means if we are talking about some particular soil with respect to the weight and also with respect to the volume, both parameters are coming into the picture. Okay. Now, so let us talk about the bulk unit weight. Bulk unit weight of soil. The name itself represents what is meant by bulk unit weight. That means go to the some natural field condition and pick up the soil with our hands. So whatever the weight of the soil and also what is the volume occupied weight, that is nothing but a weight of the bulk unit weight. So in general, it is represented with the gamma. That is nothing but a capital W divided by E. So what is meant by W? Weight of the soil. What is meant by V? It is nothing but a volume soil sample, right? So in natural condition, that means here I can see it is on the natural condition. Now let us talk about the saturated unit weight. What is meant by saturated unit weight? That means saturated unit weight of soil. Let us talk about. That means if you are taking a soil and it is completely saturated, then we are defining with the saturated unit weight. So if it is a saturated unit weight, then we will represent unit density as a gamma saturation. So what is meant by gamma saturation now? What is the weight of the soil? That is nothing but I will say it is a weight of the soil in saturated condition divided by volume of the soil sample. Okay. Now, if you compare this, if you are talking about the saturation, that means we are discussing about the extreme case. That means all the voids are filled with the water. That means this is what the maximum value. If you compare these two values, bulk unit weight and saturated unit weight, denominator is same. And if you compare the numerator, if your entire soil is occupied with the water, it is having more weight. That's why we can say your bulk unit weight will have less than value compared to the gamma saturation, or else we can say saturation is the largest value. And now let us talk about the dry unit weight of soil. Dry unit weight of soil, it is representing with the gamma subscript D. Now what do you think? If the soil is in dry condition, then we are discuss about the, yeah, right, that too. And one more point is that if you are having only, if you're talking about the dry soil, that means how many weights you will have? You will have the weight of the solids only. That means if there is no water content present in the soil, how your weight is related to the volume. So that is nothing but here. You will having weight because of the solids only. That's why I represent Ws divided by V. That means with respect to the entire volume, what is the weight of the solids? Why you are not? See, if total volume, if it is a dry soil, we are having soil, solids, and also we are having the air content. So does it have any weight for air? No. That's why if you're talking about the dry unit weight for the entire volume, we'll discuss it, but we are considering only the weight of the solids. Why? Because air doesn't have any weight. So this is what about the dry unit weight. Next, unit weight of solids. Unit weight of solids. That means here where this will represent with gamma subscript S. The unit weight of solids, that means in the soil sample, solid will be present. That means what about the weight of the solids with respect to the volume of the solids? So here that is nothing but a weight of the solids divided by volume of the solids. As you can observe in previous, whether it is a saturated, dry condition or bulk density, those three values we have discussed with respect to the entire volume of the soil sample. Entire volume of the soil sample can change, right? But if you're talking about the volume of voids, they not change at all. So your for a standard value, we can say for a particular soil sample, unit weight of solids is the constant value. They won't change. Why? Because if your water content changes, if your air content changes, then correspondingly your weight will changes, and also your previous parameters will change. But here, all these values we are representing with volume of solids. As volume of solids cannot change, this we can define it as a constant parameter. Okay. And if you compare with this value, total volume of soil is larger or volume of solids is larger? Volume of soil is larger. That's why in compared to the previous, is this value is lesser in magnitude. Gamma of solids will be of larger value in compared to the all. Next, submerged unit weight of soil. Submerged unit weight of soil. So submerged unit weights we can represent with gamma sub. That means if your soil is submerged in water, then that is what nothing but a submerged unit weight. So in some cases it can be submerged in other liquids also, but as of now in most of the cases the soil may be submerged in the water. So simply we will say it is a submerged weight of the soil. So if you remember, in earlier days we have to dig out the water from the wells. So if you are digging out the water from the well, you will feel more weight. But once your bucket is in the well, you don't feel that much weight. Why? Because some of the whatever the volume that is displaced by the bucket, those can be balanced This is what nothing but Archimedes principle. That means if anything, any object is in the water, as volume of object is replaced by the water, sum of the weight will be balanced. So that is what nothing but a submerged unit weight. So this I can represent as a gamma submerged. That I can say it is a gamma saturation. That means if your soil is in saturated condition, what is the unit weight? Minus, we will subtract with the unit weight of the water. So if they are given other than the water, then you have to subtract with that unit weight of oil or something, whatever may be the parameter. Okay. So normally this is based on the Archimedes principle. So if I compare all these values, then I can say that my gamma S is greater in magnitude in comparison to the gamma saturation, in comparison to the gamma, in comparison to the gamma D, and also in comparison to the gamma submerged. Why? Because how can you understand? If we see all these four values, what is the denominator? Denominator is nothing but a volume of soil. For this, what is the denominator? Volume of solids. So which one is in larger magnitude? V. That's why all these four values will have the lesser in magnitude compared to this one. And if you compare the numerator, gamma saturation means we are taking weight of saturation. Bulk density means we are taking the weight. Gamma dry means we are taking only weight of solids. Gamma submerged means we can say weight of the soil minus we can say weight of the water, indirectly we can say it. So if you compare all these values, in saturated condition the weight of the soil will be in larger magnitude compared to the dry soil. And submerged means again we are removing the weight of the water. So here I can say W saturation. So if at all they can ask you in the exam, this is what the ranges or this is what the sequence of the unit weights. Unit weight of solids will always be greater in comparison to the saturated unit weight, in comparison to the bulk, and it in comparison to the dry unit weight, and or what is the least value? Submerged unit weight. Okay. So this is what about the basic parameters that we will useful for the estimation in the for structure problems, not structures, wherever we are encountered. So in the next class, we will discuss about the relationships between these parameters. Thank you.